All right. What up, Instagram? We are here talking about worship and the importance of it. This is my
Awesome.
brother, Pastor Jeremy Butler you're in Chicago, right?
No, I'm in Benton Harbor, Michigan.
Michigan. He's from Chicago, but yes.
That's right.
Yeah. We're talking about worship. It's been good. We've been talking for like almost 45 minutes here.
Yeah, I know. Wow. And we owe them an extra 5 to 10 minutes because
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
It's-
I have nothing but 2 more assignments to do for this one last final, this
Oh,
guitar
man.
final. So if I could avoid it a little bit longer, I'm okay with that.
You are so funny. Good deal. Everybody come to, hey, I see Juan. All right, cool. Everybody's back. So all right, let's go here for a second, and then we're gonna show them how it's done. But
Oh, we are? Okay.
worship leaders, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference between, and I think for everybody that like idolizes worship leaders and wants to be on stage and be seen, I'm very, very wary of those type of people. So when someone comes and says they want to be part of the worship ministry, I really want to know why.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. Let's talk about this, a difference between the stage versus the altar.
Yeah.
Right? When you're talking about how even as worship leaders or congregants, we can worship the concept of the stage, that glorified image, that elevated, smoke, lights, glamour, guitar, microphone, rock star type feel, ready to jump into the crowd and ride the wave.
You're not
that whole thing.
That's real, man. I mean, listen, I think people don't know. It's like the devil's game. And I'm not trying to say like anyone who's famous is of the devil. It's not what I'm saying. But it's an empty life, man. The lights and the smoke are just that, lights and smoke. They go away and there's like nothing there when it's all gone.
For sure. All right, so stages versus altars. The altar is where sacrifices are made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The stage, we know what a stage is, right? We just described it.
It's where performances are made. I think we should just clarify, though. It's where performances are done.
Stages for performance.
Yeah.
Altars for sacrifice. And I think an area that many of us are unprepared for when it comes to really following God in our worship life is that there are some things that we will have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. You know what, though? Oh, this is hard for me. This is my season right now, actually. The reality is Jesus is coming back for a bride that is pure and spotless. Meaning, and that really comes from the older days, you know what I mean? Pure and spotless, blameless, however you want to, go ahead and phrase that, was really something that was a concept used for the women from the days of old. If you had sunspots, which actually have sunspots, which was like this moment of like, whoa, when I figured this out. If you had sunspots and you were seen by a man, it was known to him that you were working out in the fields. Like right away, like that you didn't have anyone to lean on. You didn't have any leadership in your life and you were not dependent upon someone to provide for you. Meaning that you were leading your own life and by choice, maybe not by choice, whatever, but life had dealt you cards to where you were your own leader and you were providing for yourself as a woman. And in that culture back then, that was a big no-no. And as the Lord's bride, we're called to be spotless, meaning like fully dependent on him. And sometimes I think that's preached out of context, meaning like, just, I want you pure, no sin, don't you ever mess up. No, Jesus died. I'm not saying go sin. Like Paul says in the Bible, like, why would you do that when Jesus has made, this is my paraphrase, such a beautiful sacrifice for you. But the reality is what Jesus is really coming back for is a bride that is fully dependent and in love. Meaning like when you're someone's bride, you have made a commitment to love them no matter what and to trust them and their leadership. So long story short, he's coming back for a church that looks like that. And what I'm really trying to get to is this church is really what this is all about. So and this positioning of who we are in our hearts is what this is all about. So when we experience disappointment and things gone wrong, the reality is if it's unto love, I've been praying, and this is the hardest prayer to pray, You know what I mean? Like, I just had a breakup with a guy that I really liked. I'm just gonna be honest. Just put it out there, you know what I mean? Hopefully he's not watching. I don't think he is. But the reality is like, I said, Lord, this almost crushes me, because like, he's the closest thing to what I prayed for manifested on the earth that I've seen. And I know the Lord is so good. He'll bring someone that's way better. But the reality is like, if it's unto love and me being a part of a spotless bride, let it be. If me losing my 401k, which I don't have, but like, if it is unto purifying my heart and drawing me closer to you, Lord, I hate to pray this, but let it be so. You know what I mean? Like, we get it twisted. Christianity, knowing Jesus, is not about us having a good 401k, a nice house, a perfect family, and the picket fence. It's about when Jesus comes back, us being his bride. And so, eternal perspective. And what I've learned about worship, my most recent revelation is, we get, if we're fortunate, maybe 80 years on the earth. You know what I mean? Some of us 120, like those people, like, God bless you. Like, that is so cool. But no other creature in all of creation gets to worship the Lord through suffering, gets to identify with Jesus and his suffering. Like, Jesus suffered on a cross, and we can identify with him. Sometimes right now in our earthly lives, we can identify with his glory. We love those moments. Like, man, God, I got revelation, glory. I got a promotion at work, glory. All the glory. We want the glory moments. But what we don't understand is that we have such a privilege here on earth. And I hate saying it because my flesh doesn't want to experience these moments. But we get like 80 years to identify with the suffering of Jesus. No four-eyed creature, 50 million-eyed creature, no cerebral being, all the words, you know what I mean? Well, angel will ever get that. And that is such an honor to be able to worship and praise through pain. So I have to remind myself, I made a chorus up when I was worshiping at IHOP. You know, I had really been disappointed, and I was praying to the Lord kind of like silently, and I'm on like mic number 3, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, Lord, my heart feels like it was put in a blender. And I'm like, I'm for real. Like, I'm about to leave. Like, I'm done. You know, like, somebody had really like left me high and dry. Someone had stole like $1,000 from me that week. Like, it was a bad week. And I just felt so betrayed. And the Lord goes, here you go again. You pray these things to me, but you never sing them out. And I was like, Lord, I'm not trying to sing this over no microphone right now. You know what I mean? I'm straight, Lord. I don't want to sing this over a microphone. But I did. And it came out. It was so beautiful. I'll probably make it into a song eventually. But it was like, you keep me in a place of needing you. And for that, I'm so grateful. And so some of the things that happen to our lives, we think that it's the devil, or, you know what I mean? Like, just like everything's horrible. But sometimes they're mechanisms, and I hate to say this because it's going to mess with people's theology, that God uses. I don't know if he creates them all, but God will use Romans 8. You know what I mean? He'll use all things unto the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And so he's using things. He's using COVID-19. He is using, that's a whole other conversation. COVID-19 to draw us into a spotless bride, to draw us into a place of love, to bring us closer. And sometimes we just don't see, though, until it's done. You know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, same. But yeah, that's real, man. That's real. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Do they say they can't hear you again? Oh, man, it has to be your phone. Should I turn you up on the computer? No, because then you'll be delayed. That'd be kind of weird, right? We lost the pastor, they say. We lost the pastor. Guys, this is like the 4th time we've lost the pastor and his audio.
I don't know how you want to work that.
I'm gonna just let you go over my computer screen. My computer
Okay.
screen, my computer. Hopefully, can you guys hear him through my computer a little bit?
Can y'all hear me? We cannot hear the pastor. That's funny.
That's really funny.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Someone said there we go. They can hear you.
Okay. They can hear us. Excellent.
Okay.
So we're working like that.
Up. See, look, I'm here for you. Tech savvy. I'm with it.
See there, man? I'm telling you, this technology got me feeling old, man. I feel.
Oh, that's okay. There has to be
I feel like I was actually born in the decade I should have been born in.
No, so wait, what was your last statement before we went into audio zone?
I don't remember. You had to ask the Lord. That was divine. No, I'm tripping. I ain't that deep. What were we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about COVID-19. You know what? To be honest, if I could be completely real about COVID-19, I think it was, well, here's the thing. If we're going to be real, I'm just going to keep it short though.
Sure.
Jesus is coming back. And with all of that, there's going to be a lot of, just like pestilence that hits the earth, a lot of like trials. We think that this is bad, but the reality of what the Bible describes, like, guys, this is the Bible. What it describes is so much worse than what we're experiencing. Like, if you can go back and read, just like the plagues of Egypt, like, we're going to experience stuff like that, but way worse. Here, like, modern day. And we're already kind of getting, like, this woke the church up and made us say, oh my gosh, like stuff like this, you feel like a kid made it up. Like, like we're hoarding toilet paper and like nothing's open and like people are dying randomly, and that's nothing to make fun of or even laugh about. Like, it is crazy. But the reality is like it shook a lot of the people in the church, and we're supposed to be standing on a solid rock. And so here, a lot of us are honestly just out of faith. We don't trust God. We don't believe God. We're now speaking death over ourselves, our families, over our communities, our worlds, when God is saying, hey, like, this is just a pop quiz. So if I can be honest with myself, the pop quiz hit, and what I passed in was faith. You know what I mean? I was like, God, I'll go anywhere. Like, let's rock, let's roll. And praise God. Like, that's really like the Lord has done that in me. I just said yes to it.
Yes.
But what I really felt in is just like the knowledge. Like, within the first week of it happening, I got asked by 3 different people about God's plan for us in the future, like the end times plan and different things like that.
Sure.
I was like, yeah, Jesus is coming down from the clouds. It's going to be great. It's going to be crazy. I really couldn't tell them, you know what I mean? And my lack of Bible knowledge. So long story short, I'm like, wow, God, I failed the pop quiz in this part, and I need to go study my Bible on another level. You know what I mean? It's not enough to just be like, John 3:16. Like, is that applicable to this situation?
Right.
So I encourage just us as a church, us as a family body, to not be upset and not to condemn ourselves. That's what I'm trying to say. But to say, okay, there was a pop quiz. Where did I maybe not pass? I need to go back and study that part. You know what I mean? And any good musician, right? When you, like right now, I'm trying to learn this classical piece in a day, which is don't recommend that for anybody. I should have been studying this. But like the reality is when you're learning it, you always should go back and like isolate pieces of the music that you're not good at, that you're stumbling and flubbing through. And I think we got to do that with our walks. Like, God is preparing, once again, a spotless bride. We got to be ready for that. That's worship. Preparing ourselves, preparing those around us. So, yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
So, we're at about an hour. I'm not trying to keep this 2 hours. This is good.
I'm long-winded.
Like this is one of those discussions that it's very easy to get lost in.
Go on for 5 hours.
But I want you wouldn't happen to have a guitar handy, would you?
I do. I mean, how did
you sing something for us?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
This is your last chance to post any questions
or song requests.
That's you're tuning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's been a journey. Just trying to be found faithful,
For sure.
All right. What should we sing? Hey, Amber. Drawing a blank or what?
Oh, no, it's up to you.
Up to me.
I can't sing with you because, we got latency issues and it'll be a delay and it won't line up. So this is all on you.
I know. I'm still waiting for you to put out some music, by the way. Y'all should harass Pastor Butler right here because he's such a gifted worship leader and just artist.
I'm working on it.
Oh, there's a question. My family is Buddhist and I don't know how to talk to them about God. Any advice?
That's you can chime into this. The first thing that comes to mind for me is that your greatest testimony is the life you live.
Yeah,
and
that's what I me too.
We were first called Christians in Antioch, and they knew we were Christians by our love. And so when you can love your Buddhist family,